Today on The State of Us, supermarkets of the future versus small town shopping. Welcome to The State of Us. I'm your host, Justin T. Weller, joined today by the one and only, your friendly redneck liberal and the senior resident historian here at True Chat, Mr. Lance Jackson. Today, we're looking at a supermarket for the future. Kroger and Albertsons do a lot more than sell groceries, including gather information about you. If antitrust regulators approve their $20 billion merger, the definition of a grocery store grows further. So we're going to look at what exactly are Kroger and Albertsons in the business of today, because it may surprise you just how many different things they do. Have you thought about what all is at your local grocery store? We also get to talk about sort of the forthcoming wave of European-owned chains like Aldi. We're actually getting one of those in our local small town, so we're going to talk about how that factors into redefining how these giants play with our stores and what we can get at them. And then we'll also look at how this contrasts with sort of this push that we've seen, at least in recent years, it seems, to support more local business and try to shop local. How does that work into these mega supermarkets of the future?
Aldi's goes back to the old days, having shopped at one.
Good old Aldi?
Yeah, they go back to the old days of, they just have food.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So they're not really a supermarket then, are they? They're just kind of...
They're a grocery store.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's one of that? What's that?
Well, you can't... Sometimes I have a hard time finding the groceries through all of the other things that are being sold or offered. It's like, I just want some groceries.
That's why you got to do the online.
I see. No.
No. Although you have done that.
I have, yes.
Reluctantly,
but no.
hesitantly,
Yes.
Kicking and screaming.
Well, I think it was like, and you say it's better, but I know that I think it was 2 orders out of 40 or 50 that were filled complete.
Yeah.
And I know one time I asked for cucumbers and I got cabbage. And they said it was a substitution. And I said, because they both started with C or what? How is cabbage a substitution for 2 cucumbers?
Well, they didn't factor in that Lance would hold a grudge on the substitution preferences. Although they did hear your feedback, because now you can tell it, a specific item for your substitution. Like, if they don't have this, I only want this in place of it, or I just don't want anything else. As the country's 2 biggest supermarket chains envision the future of their planned mega merger, you'll be able to purchase groceries, a coffee, patio furniture, and your allergy medicine prescription. The stores deduce you might also like a humidifier to help the sneezes and some local honey, all of which it has ready for you. At dinner time, order in sushi, which was made by a kitchen owned by the supermarket. The companies together, that being Kroger and Albertsons, employ more than 710,000 employees and operate nearly 5,000 stores across the United States. Both companies have locations in Southern California, Seattle, and Chicago, including Ralph's, Food for Less, Safeway, and Vons among them. So remembering that when we talk about Kroger and Albertsons, we're not necessarily just talking about those brand name stores that you're familiar with. I don't know if you've ever looked, but on your bag that you get if you get your prescription at Kroger's or one of Kroger's family of pharmacies, you will notice that there are about 30 different brands that they sell under that are the Kroger family of pharmacies that they own.
Well, I knew 30 years ago I was visiting my sister in Southern California, and I went to get to the grocery store. I was like, hey, these are the same cans. It wasn't called Kroger's. And I was like, these are the same cans of stuff that I buy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's when I realized that.
They operate more than 50 manufacturing plants and nearly 70 distribution centers across North America.
And we have one of those pretty local too.
Yeah.
Just about 35 minutes from us is a big, huge Kroger distribution center.
So in other words, these are some big companies, but where is...
But our Kroger's never has anything. Just
Well, right. Well, our Kroger, yeah. There
the
are
distribution,
Krogers. We're
the
told that
distribution
Krogers
center,
do.
yeah, is a half an hour away. And I love it when Kroger's ask me, did you find everything you want? No. Oh, okay. They never fix it. They always ask, did you find everything all right? No, I didn't. Oh. These 3 things were on sale and you didn't have any of them. Oh, we're sorry about that. Okay, thanks.
I think this is, they've learned Lance's profile, and this is part of what we're talking about. One of the big differences between, like, for example, Kroger and Walmart, right, is that Kroger has a loyalty program.
Yeah.
Kroger Plus card.
And they won't give you the good prices unless you have your loyalty card. Why can't you just sell the groceries for what you're selling the groceries for?
Well, because they want
And they're going to make me buy a new phone for my wife because we can't get the digital coupons because they upped it to a higher level than what her smartphone is.
Phone won't support it.
Right. So
I bet they might sell you that new phone.
So there's 3 levels of pricing in the grocery store. And it's like, I'm a customer. What's your bottom line? Sell it to me for that. Why do I have to have all these loyalty cards, certain phone, on and on and on, just to get the best price?
Well, I think that
frustrating.
Kroger uses consumer data to build loyalty programs and this is a big one, sell advertising to brands, putting it in emails, coupons, on its website. This brings it into competition with tech giants' data-driven advertising arms at Facebook parent Meta Platforms and Alphabet Inc.'s Google. The supermarket is also staking out a presence on platforms such as Snapchat and smart TVs, another venue where the company can sell ads for products. It's not just about it's multifold, right? What Kroger, for example, does with data. And I think this is really important to understand because it's part of how do they make money? Where you say, well, they make money because they sell merchandise. Well, yes, but I mean, historically speaking, the grocery business is not a high yield.
Yeah, the profit margin is very small selling groceries.
But you know what is an excellent yield is selling advertising because they have almost no overhead for that. And it's data that they already collect as a result of you shopping.
Well, it's like you look at your shopping cart, right? It can have ads. Some places have ads on the shopping cart.
Right.
And there are Krogers, I've been in them where they actually have a TV screen while you're waiting in the checkout line where they're running ads for other businesses there.
And in the age of, data privacy and concerns about that type of thing. And for example, like what is Facebook collecting about you? And we've been worried about that for a long time. But one of the things that you maybe haven't thought about is what happens every time you swipe that loyalty card?
Well, I think about it, but what do? You pay $1 more for a product?
No, let you keep your privacy. And see, the other thing that comes into play with that is you might say, well, this all sounds good to sell you more products at this store. Oh no, it's way more powerful than that because think about how everything you buy, especially food and health related products, paints a picture of who you are. I mean, yes, what you like on social media and pay attention to certainly is powerful, but what you spend cold hard cash on a week to week or day to day basis, that's pretty valuable.
Well, if let's say you got your prescriptions at Kroger's, they know you're taking blood pressure medicine or they know you're taking medicine for diabetes or pre-diabetic or cholesterol. You think they might start to put ads to you for foods that are low in cholesterol that will help your diabetes. So all of a sudden now you get your prescriptions filled and they start to then push certain foods your way that they know would be healthier for you because they have your pharmaceutical stuff. I mean, am I off base or did I just give them something that they hadn't thought of yet? If I was them, right? If you know that you have customers who are on certain meds, you could start to push certain ads their way. And they're saying, oh, my doctor said I need to eat more of this. Oh, look, it's on sale this week.
Well, because keeping in mind, it's not just about learning about you. It's also keeping you and your money engaged with them. And that's why Albertsons in late 2021 started its digital advertising business. The company is using data to offer coupons and rewards through its loyalty programs, which have grown to 33 million users. That's just Albertsons. That's not Kroger as well. Albertsons' digital offerings now include recipes and health-related content. Besides being the biggest U.S. grocery store operator, Cincinnati-based Kroger has been expanding its private label business to boost margins and capitalize on emerging trends in food. Kroger runs more than 30 of its own plants that make store brand fan favorites, including strawberry lemonade seltzer and unicorn swirl ice cream. It has almost doubled the number of products it sells under its store brand since 2005, and these private label products make up nearly 20% of its sales.
So is that what they call their private selection or whatever? It's kind of a brand.
That's one of them.
Okay. All right.
The goal, yes, private selection is one of Kroger's, it's one of their larger brands. Simply Truth is another.
Simply Truth.
Is another Kroger
And you know
brand.
they're also into the wholesale ordering online like Amazon, like the back page of their flyer, which you can only get now if you go to the store.
Or you get the newspaper.
But I have looked at, full transparency, I do look at it online before I go to the store. So
they got him.
Yeah. But I can't get any digital coupons that way.
Oh, well,
I can look at it.
And you want your digital coupons.
But they're in that Amazon bulk business, because the back page of the flyer is, here's what you can order from Kroger.com and have shipped to the house. And these are the specials that we're running there. You can't find them in the store, but you can go to Kroger.com and order these in bulk, and we'll deliver them to your house.
Well, when we talk about
they're even kind of getting into that Amazon lane.
Exactly. When we talk about the future of supermarkets, it's not just what you can go to a store to get. It's also about what can the store get to you, either from the store that you know that's close by, or maybe it's a ghost kitchen. Let's talk about a ghost kitchen.
I know what a ghost pepper is. What's a ghost chicken? A ghost chicken.
A ghost kitchen.
Kitchen.
A ghost
chicken,
kitchen that sells a
peppers.
ghost chicken.
Man, not even Halloween.
Keep it here on The State of Us. We'll be right back. So you got this massive store, Lance. There's all this food. There's all this product in it, right? And they've probably got, a couple different health inspections that they have to go through regularly. Licensing, right? All this stuff. Well, gee, that seems like it might be the perfect kind of place to supply and run a restaurant. So what if we just set up a ghost kitchen? Across California, Texas, and Ohio, Ghost kitchens are growing in popularity. They allow customers to order restaurant-quality meals and pick them up from stores without any actual restaurants involved. We know that Lance likes these types of food. We're going to show Lance, here are some local restaurants near you that offer these types of dishes. You order from that restaurant, which is actually just Kroger's back of house. They prepare it, package it in that branded material, out the door it goes, and it came from Kroger right down the street, right where you buy your groceries.
What?
Ghost kitchen.
But it's made at Kroger's.
Or a facility that they own.
Don't most places, grocery stores, have a place where you can go in and, like at the deli, and select hot products?
Yes.
Like
rotisserie chicken
to create a
or
meal.
Something like that.
But they sell green beans.
Right.
Or
the
mashed
difference
potatoes.
is this would be
so what's a ghost? So I'm not understanding the ghost.
This would be like there's a specialized menu, a specially branded restaurant, none of which
so I just
actually
click on
exist.
Restaurant at Kroger's and order my plate of food rather than going in and buying a tub of green beans and a tub of and a rotisserie chicken, a tub of mashed potatoes and okay.
And they can brand the restaurants differently to suit your tastes and preferences. And as far as I mean, depending on how certain restaurants are branded, and this isn't just Kroger that does this, right? I mean, DoorDash has been playing with this for a while because there's a big value to it. Again, they learn a lot about you on what restaurants you buy at. Well, now before you buy at this restaurant that you've always bought at, we can show you, hey, there's this new restaurant nearby that offers very similar food at a lower price, but you didn't know that it's actually a restaurant that we own and that isn't actually a restaurant that you can even go to because there is no physical location.
There's no dine-in.
There's no dine-in, and we're going to offer you a slightly lower price than the other place because we want to make the money and collect the data.
Okay. Where are we on the gas stuff? Because I've had this problem for 15, 20 years. Since Kroger offered fuel, if you get 10 cents off per 100 points, right? But if you have 100,
I don't buy gas.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get 10 cents off for every 100 points that you earn.
Yes.
Buying groceries.
I used to use Kroger fuel all the time.
Okay. So if you end up with 799 points in the month, you just lose 99 points. Now, it seems to me, I'm not the computer guru. You should be able to take those 99 points and roll them in there. And they just take them from you.
Right.
That's wrong. It's like I earned those points. They should roll over. Should roll over. I understand the idea that they go bad, right? They only give you 2 months worth of time to use them. But if I bought stuff and got 799 points, I understand I get 70 cents off of gas, but then I shouldn't just lose 99 points. It makes me go in there and buy another banana so that I know I have 800.
That's why they do it. All this data.
But as a customer,
Kroger doesn't sell gas,
but
and
as
they
a
don't have
customer, it
pharmacies
sends
to
me
make
to
money.
a different gas station because I'm mad at Kroger's because they do that.
Well, how many of you are there though? Most people just lose the 99 points.
That's just crazy. Because I spent the money to earn the points and then I don't get to use them. And it's like I would use the points, but they don't give me the opportunity to use the points.
I think part of the reason their system works is they do count on some ultra competitive people like Lance. This game's rigged. You're right, it is.
Okay.
They got AI working on you too all the time, figuring out how to beat Lance at the game. I mean, I think the point here is that a big part of mega grocery stores of the future, or really of the now.
No, they offer everything, right?
Right.
I mean, even at our small.
And they don't have to make money on everything. Right. That's the key.
We have one of we just redid our store and it's about still half the size, but it's got a sushi chef in there. I can't even say that.
Say that fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, sushi chef.
Dude, what? Here's this guy, making stuff. I'm like, in Kroger's in Urbana? I go, why?
I get sushi from there.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Brett and I do.
You guys don't get sick?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right.
I don't. Maybe Brett does.
But then we go 30 minutes away into a bigger town, and we have a friend who buys almost all of their professional clothing at Kroger's. They've got the nicest selection of nice clothes for a low price at Kroger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Kroger Marketplace.
Yes, right. And you go, I mean, man, the bread stuff they have there. I mean, you walk in and it's like it would be a third of our store, and it's nothing but bread and bakeries and bakery products and all kinds of craft beers and wine and it's like, well, this is kind of a fun place to shop, but it's 30 minutes away. But and you can't find anything because see that's okay. Off topic, but I've got to say it. It's gotten so big, they offer so much that you can't find what you want. I mean, it's like
that's why I
used to memorize the store and I knew where I wanted. And I know, again, this is Big Brother, that I knew where stuff was. And so I would just go and get the things I needed, right? And now they switch it around every other year and I can't find stuff that I want. And then they put stuff in the weirdest spots. It's like, I'm looking for ramen noodles and you'd think they'd be with the other noodles. No, they're in, foreign cuisine or something.
You know what they count on too is that the few times that I physically go into a store, which isn't very often, right?
I know you don't buy gas. You don't physically go into a store. You live this weird life. That's all I got to say. You live this life that I don't even.
Well, from what I'm hearing, you got a lot of
recognize.
Angst going into Kroger, and I don't have that because I don't go inside.
No, the world gives me angst. It does. I get angst when I shop online.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm full of angst no matter how I did it.
But they're counting on when I walk into a store, I don't know where this stuff's at. And so if I've gone to where I think it's at and it ain't there, now I have to, well, how am I going to find this? I'm going to pull out my phone and the app to find out where it is. And of course, the app is, if you've enabled it, which I have not, tracking your location so they can also track how you move throughout the store while you're there. And then they can use that to reposition things based on
You're
trends.
kidding me, right?
No.
Kroger has an app that if you're in the store, you punch up the product.
It'll tell you where it is.
And they tell you what aisle it's in to go. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It's the same app that you used for delivery, and digital coupons on your wife's. It's the same one. You pull up the product, it'll tell you what aisle it's in.
How enabling a society are we going to create here? Oh, my gosh. If the cell tower goes down, people won't be able to go to the grocery store.
That's right. Well, you won't know where anything's at.
The dumbing down of America.
Well, here's the other thing, because Lance really loves Walmart. Kroger, and this is a sort of one of those misconception items, right?
A Walmart who doesn't hire people and you have to scan your own food and they don't give you your own products and they don't even give you a price. It's like, I'm working here. I'm scanning, paying, I'm doing all the work that a cashier would do. Why don't I get a discount for my products?
Angst, ladies and gentlemen. Poor Lance. He can't live in the world. You're going to have to take your wife's.
You're going to
have to go buy a new smartphone so you can take it to the store so that you can figure out where things are at.
It's bad enough that you don't give me value stamps anymore. I even have to check out my own products and pay by myself with no human. That's even less human interaction for me, which is not good for my. If I saw more people, maybe I'd like people better, but I don't see a lot of people. And now I go to the store and I see even less people.
And Big Brother's watching.
Yes. And so now I got to get mad at the machine that doesn't work. And it cheats me out of my change.
Yeah.
That's another thing. The last 3 times I put money in, it's cheated me out of anywhere from 1 to 5 cents.
Yeah. Then you know what they're counting on.
And then it takes 5. Exactly. I know what they're doing.
That most people are never going to check the 1 to 5 cent range of whether or not you got cheated out of it.
And they're just rolling it in.
Well, it's just computer error, Lance. That's all it is. It's not intentional. They'd never
take my base.
They'd never cheat millions of people out of a few cents so that they could make a couple $100,000 extra on any given day.
No, they'd never do that on purpose. No way. No way, no how. But if the machine doesn't make the change, there's not a cashier that knows how to anyway. So,
what do you mean it didn't make the right call? I don't know how to make the change. You can't open the machine either. So, really sorry, sir. That's all you get. I can't make it give you any more. He's just shaking his head, folks. So let's talk about the small town component of this too, right? How does this jive with? Is this a good thing? From listening, you might think it's a bad thing, but is it a good thing? Keep it here on The State of Us. We'll be right back. Is it a good thing, Lance?
What's that?
Mega grocery stores?
I don't think so. It's a grocery store. Honestly, you're talking about local, okay? We have a small town about 15 minutes away from us. It's the same distance for me where I live, because I live north of our little town. To go up to this little smaller town is the same drive as to come in to go to Kroger's. And I will shop at the little local grocery store that only has 4 aisles. Because it's a grocery store. And the prices aren't as good, but I see people. And if I need something, I can ask them and they get it for me. And that's basically in the last 12 months where I do most of my grocery shopping, is at this local little family run grocery store. And in this small town about 15 minutes north of where we record. And I would rather go there than to go to these big superstores because I'm in and out. I can find my products. And if I pay a little bit more, it's okay because I have less angst and I find what I'm looking for. And they have local goods, right? They have locally ground oats. They have flour. They have, all of this stuff that's locally done. They have a whole section of their store that's that as well. And it's such a comfort to just go to this little tiny family run grocery store. More so than it is to park, a long way away. And I like to park far away though at the grocery store, or because it gives me my steps. I get more exercise that way. It's good for me. But then I go in and I'm upset because of something that happens. I'm never upset when I go to the small family owned grocery store. So me personally, I'm going away from the mega store.
The supermarket model where shoppers could buy fruits, vegetables, milk, and meat all in one place gained popularity in the U.S. during the 1930s, with early stores primarily focusing on offering low prices. As the population grew across the country, businesses opened more stores and operators began adding a wider range of products and services like in-store bakery shops. And that's how we come to basically today, the ever-growing, ever-expanding grocery store. When we say grocery store, you have heard before probably that Kroger is the largest grocery store operator in the country. But the share of grocery sales in the United States, Walmart controls 22% of that market. Kroger only controls 9% and Albertsons 5%. So keeping in mind
even if you put Kroger and Albertsons together, they're still smaller than Walmart.
But Walmart isn't a grocery store. They just happen to sell groceries. And for those of you that are old enough, right? I mean, I actually remember our town was probably one of the last ones where this existed, but we had a Walmart and a Kroger in the same shopping center because you couldn't buy groceries at Walmart. I mean, they had like, milk and a few things like that, a few dry goods. But if you were going to do
staples,
right, if you were going to do grocery shopping, you had to go to the grocery store because Walmart didn't sell.
Yep, that is true.
They didn't offer that. They were big box mega retailer for everything else. Anything that you weren't going to buy at the grocery store, you were probably going to buy at Walmart. So even those giants, have changed a lot. I mean, as Walmart pushed into we're going to offer super centers, they said, well, just throw a grocery store inside of the super center because, again, we don't need to make a lot of money on groceries, but if people are coming here for groceries and we can sell them other things that we make higher margin on.
Years ago, South Park did an episode on this.
Oh, did they?
Yes, how you walk into, it was supposed to be Walmart, but they called it something else. And it was like the Wizard of Oz. There was this big thing in the back that was brain and controlling people, and you just walk in, you don't know why you're there, and you just pick things up, and it's one-stop shopping, and you just are, again, those writers are fantastic, but it's like, it's that way. And so, when you ask me that question, I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I don't like them. I don't like this big, huge place because you can't just run in and get what you want. You are basically lost in this system.
For example, if you've been to Florida, or maybe you're listening in Florida, hello, Floridians, all of you who are not actually from Florida but moved there, there's no Kroger, right? Oh, but there is. There's no physical Kroger store. But now, Lance, you want to get Kroger in Florida? You can, because they have a 375,000 square foot robot manned facility that picks groceries that are Kroger brand, just like you've come to know and love across the rest of the U.S., and they will deliver them to you. You don't need to retire.
So if you're all those people that are leaving the Northeast and the high state taxes and going to go live in Florida, but you want the same food you've been eating your whole life,
we got you covered.
Kroger's has got you covered.
We don't want you to go to Publix.
Publix is awesome.
Publix only has
That's the only good thing
3% of total U.S. grocery store sales. There are over 1,000 Starbucks locations inside of Kroger stores.
Well, yeah. You've never seen, we don't know. You don't go in. The line at Starbucks is longer than it is to get through the cashiers because people are either buying it on their way out, or most of them are buying it on their way in because they know they need some kind of sustenance to be able to survive the next 3 hours going through the store. You know, I mean, you used to worry about, your ice cream melting.
Yeah.
Now you have to plan your shopping and pick up the ice cream last because it takes forever.
The thing that I think is going to be interesting is you see more of these coming to small towns. We have that kind of war footing setting up here in our town between, basically the locally owned store versus Kroger and Walmart, which has been a long-standing thing, now versus Aldi, who has decided that they can make a go of it, Very interesting.
Well, it's a niche market. Have you ever shopped at an Aldi's?
Yeah. Yep. The first time I ever did was actually, it was a couple towns away and I had never been. And this was during the pandemic. And I did some Instacart, where I went out and did shopping to make money and for other people. And I had to go to Aldi, and it took forever the first time I went because I had no idea how this was supposed to work, and I baffled by the, I have to pay for a cart, and what do you mean I don't get bags? Like there's no bags. So, just lots of different things. But honestly, the more times I went, some of the things that I disliked, I definitely ended up liking better the aspect of basically everything here is food.
And for our gluten-free listeners,
yes,
Aldi has
a big
one
selection
of the best selections of gluten-free products.
Yep. So no, I've been to Aldi. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what that does to our local market. The other thing they mentioned is Dollar Generals that have been upping how much in the way of food they offer. Again, they're not a grocery store, but it becomes, we offer,
because there are so many towns now that don't have grocery stores, because this is another episode, but these grocery deserts that we've heard around here where grocery stores
you only
closed,
have one option.
Right. And, or maybe none, right? In certain downtowns or certain neighborhoods, there is no grocery store, and so the Dollar Generals have kind of picked up the slack, to offer people in small towns something.
I'm not sure that we'll see, an immediate large resurgence of the olden days of you have, a bakery and you have a butcher shop and you go to these different stores for different things and you have a produce stand. I'm not sure that, we're for sure going to get back to that, but I do think one thing that's going to continue to give kind of a run for the money in these places are these conglomerate markets. We've seen this model pop up in Columbus, Ohio. We've seen it in Cincinnati. You've probably seen it in a community near you. Basically, the notion is all these independent retailers, they all have their stores under one roof. The other thing that I think we've seen is an increase in, Kroger and others are pushing into that ghost kitchen business because home delivery of food or access to pre-made meals or meal kits, from companies where they deliver to your door, whatever any of those things might be, they've realized that there's competition coming from that.
There's a growing market too, as well.
Right. And then in our town, we have a place downtown called The Market. And basically it is kind of like a specialty foods thing where one of their main line of business is in basically ready to go meals that are refrigerated or frozen that you take with you that they made right there in that store. They're not a chain. There is no other location, and it's basically just homemade stuff that they put in a to-go container and it's refrigerated and you take it and you can take it home and microwave it, So yeah, you could go to Wendy's for, $8 and get a combo, or you could spend $10 at this place and get more food that's better for you.
Yeah, you can't go to Wendy's. Don't go to Wendy's. You had to mention Wendy's.
I struck a nerve, folks. Struck a nerve.
Wendy's is running a special now, 2 for $6, right, for on certain sandwiches and stuff.
If you can get through the drive-thru,
but
or if the dining room's open,
outside of our place. But I had the person at the fast food lane tell me, well, if you wanted 2 for $6, you have to ask for it. I'm like, he goes, it's kind of like a secret.
A secret special.
It's a secret special. I said, are you kidding me? It's on my
double secret probation.
It's on my television during the NCAA tournament.
It's a secret though.
During every timeout, he goes, well, now I have to get the manager to because he was going to charge me $20, and I said, no, I owe you $12. I was going to go get everybody in the family a sandwich. It was like 22 something. No, it's the 2 for $6. He goes, oh, I can't just give that to you. You have to ask for it. I'm like, are you? It's a national broadcasting campaign. What are you? Wendy's. Golly. Don't even ask for a Frosty. The machine's broken.
Oh, yeah. So the last time I was in Wendy's, which is a couple of weeks ago, I had put in an online order. And by the way, folks, if you're going to do that, make sure your Wendy's, has their dining room open, because the app doesn't tell you when it's open or not. Well, it tells you that it's supposed to be. The store is
open.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be open. But I put in an order, and I showed up and the door's locked. And this is like at lunch. I mean, this is like at 1. The door's locked. And I call them and I'm like, I have an in-store, I'm supposed to come in here to get this pickup order. Well, we can't do that. What do you mean? Well, you have to come through the drive-thru. But on the app that I used to not have to go through the drive-thru, I chose in-store. Well, we can't do that. You have to go through the drive-thru. And then the last time I was there, I went inside, I got a pickup order, because I am just against sitting in the Wendy's drive-thru. It's the worst experience. It's only closely matched by sitting in McDonald's drive-thru, or really any drive-thru anymore. But I went and I ordered a Frosty, and I got there, I ordered it on the app, no problem. Go there. I think, you got everything? Nope, I'm missing my 2 Frosties. Oh, well, we don't have, the Frosty machine's not working. So neither like the chocolate or vanilla Frosty, no Frosty at all. Nope. And then the one guy walks over and, I think the vanilla one's working. No, it's not working. And he walks over and pulls the lever, and sure enough, it's working fine. So to your point, they may actually have Frosties and not sell them because they don't know that the machine is functioning. So it's just like,
why are you causing me all this angst? It's bad enough to go to the grocery store. You had to bring up Wendy's.
So why do we have this conversation today, Lance?
Well, because we were hungry.
To give you angst.
Yes, and
I am
create
hungry
angst.
now.
But we did it because TrueJet, the company we work for, has a mission.
I'll go get some sushi from Kroger.
And that mission is to, or your local gas station. That mission is to educate people by providing honest, open, and respectful conversations. And we've had that today about how Big Brother is watching you as you go through the grocery store and marking your steps so they know where to put the products. If that freaks you out as much as it does me, tell all your friends and then listen to our show, which you can find as a podcast on Spotify, Overcast, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, and everywhere podcasts are found.
The State of Us releases new podcasts Tuesdays and Thursdays, first thing in the morning. Those same episodes heard on the weekends on AM and FM radio stations across the United States and parts of Canada. For The State of Us, I'm Justin T. Weller.
I'm Lance Jackson.
Special thanks to producer Bradley Butch. Thank you all, our audience, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Be the change. Be sure to check out our website, thestateofus.org, for books, articles, and all the ways to tune in. thestateofus.org.